Hello guys, welcome back to the next video. This video is regarding duty officer. So as duty officer in Delta Force, you are responsible for ensuring that all the other members within the games are complying with the rules. So as you can see, this individual who's a duty officer, he is in a Crown Vic and he is just exiting the headquarters along with all the other officers. Now this person is a modder. Now a modder can be a duty officer for the simple reason that they can go invisible, making it harder for those police officers to know whether they're around or not. So come out of the headquarters and we'll follow this chief superintendent. He seems to be driving very well, a bit fast but very well. The reason why I'm in a Crown Vic is because other vehicles such as an FBI Buffalo, which is what I usually use, the car is actually, the noise of the engine is quite deep, and if you're behind someone that's in a Crown Vic for example, they'll be able to suss you out easily because obviously the tone of their car is much quieter and lighter than the actual car, the FBI Buffalo. As duty officer within Delta Force, you can go anywhere. You can go on pavements, you can go down alleyways. Either way, you need to do your job. Therefore, you need to be able to go everywhere and anywhere. You can do your job a number of ways. You can get in a car and follow someone invisible. Here is an example of why we go on the pavement. Is because cars will just go smack into you like that vehicle, that crook did. You can see just where I look back there, we see a car that was going quite fast, so we're going to follow him. That happens to be a constable, so we're going to park on the pavement, we're going to wait for him to continue driving, then we're just going to follow him and monitor his driving and pull him over if necessary. So like I said, as a duty officer there's a number of ways of doing your job. You can attach yourself to someone's head. You can teleport into someone's car. You can teleport and attach yourself onto someone's car. Back there you just saw the skid mark on the floor. When people go around the corners, that's made by him going fast and having to obviously turn right at the same time, which causes a skid mark. That shouldn't happen because at the end of the day you should be driving nice and smoothly if you're on a blue call, which is obeying the traffic laws. You don't randomly see a police car in real life go skidding around the corner, so we're obviously trying to make the game as realistic as possible. So we're now waiting to see that there's a incident ahead, so we're going to wait for that vehicle to turn around and then we're going to go and follow him.
Yo, that was tight, crazy.
We're now going to wait for the vehicle to drive off. Once we've done so, you can see that actually the vehicle goes so fast down that road, and again that's something that shouldn't be happening either. Okay, and I believe that was a red light he went through as well. If not, then please feel free to correct me in the comment section. You see the when the vehicle turns, he actually drives quite fast. So anyway, we wait here. You see that car goes fast, so we're now going to probably turn around in a minute. Yeah, we're going to turn around and we're now going to go back the same way to find that vehicle that went fast, and I believe that vehicle was a constable vehicle as it had an orange stripe going down the side. So when we bump into a vehicle that has an orange stripe, we shall follow it. So duty officer, it's basically making sure that the cops are doing their jobs, and it doesn't include driving. Sometimes when people get pulled over, they'll get inspected on everything, including what firearms they have in their possession, going down to how good their car is. You see that car there just smashed into that hydrant? Again, that's dangerous driving, and again we're going to go around this corner, and again it's gone fast. That shouldn't be happening. As a duty officer, never ever pull someone over immediately. Always follow them. Wait until you build the criminal activities up. You see he's speeding down this road as if it's like a motorway. You see I nearly lost control there because he was driving so fast that I had to drive fast to be able to catch up with him. Bearing in mind I'm in the same vehicle as him. So now we've had enough, so we're going to put him over, and as you can see he's still going fast, and he approaches this incident, turns his sirens on, then turns it off, and then he goes to park his vehicle at the traffic lights whilst waiting for the traffic lights to turn green. And he's failing to comply with the duty officer's indication that to pull over. However, he intends to do so. However, as you can see, he doesn't actually pull over correctly. He's got the back of his vehicle halfway out, which shouldn't be happening. All his wheels nearest the curb should be near to the curb. So the duty officer will overtake and park in front of his vehicle, and then he will contact him, ask him to contact the control to inform the control that he is yellow, and then he will, the duty officer will continue to reprimand that individual. Now, the duty officer in any game has the authority to stop someone from driving a vehicle, stop someone from carrying out any police activities, including he can kick them from a game, for example. He has authority to demote someone, promote someone. Obviously, they have to be at the rank of chief superintendent and above, which is what all the duty officers would ideally be at that rank. So therefore they can implement the rules more effectively to be able to make individuals understand that Delta Force is a strict clan and they must obey the rules, otherwise they will get some form of punishment out of it. You can see at the back there, vehicles are going past, they're just minding their own business, they're just going to continue patrolling whilst I deal with this individual. You can see that we're having a phone chat, and the reason why we have a phone chat, this is so that no one else in the game can hear. The duty officer is always on the crooks team. By being on the crooks team, he'll be able to have a easy communication between the crooks and the cops. Bearing in mind the cops can't see him on the map, which will obviously enable him to be able to do his job more effectively. But also, crooks normally go a bit mental, they can go mad sometimes. So, by being on the crooks team, the duty officer can monitor the crooks whilst doing his job as ensuring the officers are doing their jobs. Now, once we're finished here, throughout this conversation, actually, this individual is stating that, give him one last chance, that he won't do it again, so he gets out in a minute and I'll fix his vehicle. In a minute you'll see that he drives off and I'll drive off, and actually I did state to this person that I won't be watching him, but in actual fact later on you'll see that I would, and you can see that his driving gets dangerous in a pursuit later on this video towards the end. So as the communication is going on, you can see that other officers are still going by their duties. See that officer behind me, he actually stopped at a red traffic light and then he went past it, which is obviously very good. That is the standard that Delta Force members should be at. So, for those of you that don't know about Delta Force, we are a police roleplay clan on the Battle of the Gatoni. We play on Xbox 360. Our website is deltaforceltd.spaz.com. There we go, we can see the person getting out of the vehicle, and the modder, the duty officer, is now repairing the vehicle. For those of you that aren't modders, that are in Delta Force, you can see how the mods are used. Anyway, you can see now the duty officer is now going invisible. Now, the duty officer's intention is to follow the person that he just stopped. However, as you can see, the person that he stopped actually went just into thin air. and as a result of the duty officer following him as fast as he could, because that individual was driving fast, you can see that he actually crashed into another officer who was going about his duties. But you can see the duty officer turns around and he goes to repair the vehicle's car. Thing is that sometimes people are a bit OCD. Well, I'm a bit OCD about my car anyway, so we need to make sure that vehicles are in neat condition. Because remember, if they're not in accurate condition, how can you tell a crook that their vehicle is not roadworthy? So we can see he's getting back in his vehicle and is returning to normal duties. So he's returning to normal duties, he's going back, looking for another officer to follow. By looking for another officer, he can continue doing his job. You can see that the duty officer does drive fast, but he does drive fast to be able to get to another person fast as possible. By getting to another officer as fast as possible, it will enable him to be able to accurately inspect every person who is on patrol with us today. This patrol was done at around about 11:30 on the 16th of April 2013. Here we go. At 11:30 GMT time, that is. Right, we can see that police car, orange stripe. That means it's a constable vehicle. It's just sped around the corner, so we're going to go and follow him and observe his driving. That is the officer that we actually lost earlier on when we had that incident with the vehicle that was coming out of the junction. Again, remember you can turn white and red. Now, this officer actually, sometimes he stops at red lights and sometimes he doesn't. Now, you can turn white and red, and you can see that sometimes he actually stops at a red light to turn white, but some red lights he actually just turns white on. So it actually, wasting a bit of his time, to be honest with you. He's obviously confused about what you can and can't do. This is a real patrol. Actually, what this video contains actually has not been cut off, so everything you see now is what actually happened. Okay. Delta Force, we have lots of videos on our YouTube channel. Feel free to check them out. If you ain't a person that is registered on our website and you're not a member of the clan, feel free to join. Or if you want to ask people any questions, feel free to ask the Commissioner or any of the members that are in Delta Force. I'm sure they'll be delighted to give you their story of how they got to Delta Force and how they got up to their rank. Currently, everyone in Delta Force has actually earned their rank. That includes the Deputy Commissioners. The two Deputy Commissioners earn their rank, and obviously the Commissioner has earned his. So there's no one actually in the clan that's at a position because they were one of the people who started the clan. Fortunately, the other individual has left. You can see him getting out of the car just to check to see who that is, and I was right. That was Sub Drugshot who is in that vehicle. You see, he swerves all over the place there, and then he comes back again. So we'll stop at traffic lights. Apart from that little swerve, he doesn't seem to be doing things wrong. Again, we're going to go onto the pavement just so that we can get out of the way, so that we can focus on our time on those two vehicles that are at traffic lights, making sure they're not going to do anything illegal. So again, you see he turns right. You can see that he actually drives quite fast, very fast. Although I think that turn is actually probably one of the slowest he's actually done. That car that went past, that was right, he was driving past, but he would have actually slowed down. You can see that actually following this constable, he actually was driving very, very fast. You can see that I've actually had to put my finger down all the way because of, and again you can see he starts reversing back in that lane. Now, really, you shouldn't be reversing in that lane. If you see something, you should be turning around rather than reversing, and as a result, the duty officer had to reverse, causing him to smash into the Cook vehicle.